family? It's your boy Divine Messenger. Hold on, before we even get started, feel the wind. Just feel the wind. Like trees blowing, nature's blooming, you get me? So it's your boy Divine Messenger here, another message. And understand, before we even get into this, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and just appreciate heaven. Welcome to heaven. And if you think I'm talking about a concept, I'm talking about a way of thinking, a way of living, a way of feeling, and a way of breathing. Heaven is within you, not outside of you. You create your heaven while living in hell. And this video, I know you see the title of this video today, basically, this comes from the heart, because most people, and you're not supposed to tell when you are fasting per se, but you can also hint around it, but don't tell what you do with the Most High with other people because they can't comprehend it. But the thing is, after you fast for 3 days, let's say 2 days, a day, you begin to awaken into who you always were. And I know somebody's probably thinking, like, that's not really possible, like, fasting for that long, because there's just no way. Most people get weak, they get sick. You know, it's just typical BS, typical excuses that people will... Hey, it was crazy. If y'all see me doing this, bro, it's a bunch of... It's nature just flying around the camera. You know, they gotta... Hold on, it's windy. Let me make sure we good. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, mother. So, as you're fasting for more than a day, let's just start with a day, your ego begins to crumble what it used to know. Meaning that most people, when they're bored, and this is like what I'm beginning to understand as well, and what's crazy, I'm going to articulate the best way I can for you, because it's just amazing how much of a miracle our spirit, our divine spirit is. After a day, when you're fasting can be any variation. It could be fasting from TV, fasting from friends, fasting from your phone, fasting from your family, fasting from video games, fasting from food, fasting from school, your job. There's different variations of what fasting is, because you're basically giving up your fleshly desires or fleshly ways for your spiritual ways. When it comes to not eating, this is one that's going to be very challenging for people who don't intermediate fast, because before you can do a full day fast, you got to start with what? Baby steps. Meaning you have to begin to crawl before you walk. So you intermediate fast, meaning you can try to test your limits. Try to go an hour without eating, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Build yourself up. You're not going to go just 10 or 12 hours without eating food. Some people don't get there that fast, but there are people who can get there that fast. And I can just only speak from my experience as well. From my experience from doing just a day, no matter how leveled up you're going to be, once you're used to just eating like this every single day, having snacks, your mind is going to build up that habit because it's a pattern. So you have to realize your algorithm, and you have to break free from your algorithm, because you are programmed into thinking that you have to eat every day. No, you do not. And that's the other thing as well. When you try to tell people that, hey, have you tried fasting? What do you think about fasting? People say, I can't go a day without eating. That's cap. You never even tried it. And the thing is too, people can do whatever they please, whatever they want. Thank you. People can do whatever they want. You know, I'm sorry, whenever the wind started blowing, it just feels beautiful to have your mother pour her heart upon your life. But when you just go a day, think about all the foods that you do eat. Like and what's crazy, you got to realize what healthy poison and unhealthy poison. Because it still has the word poison in it. So what is healthy and unhealthy poison? Doesn't matter, because no matter what you put into your body, you are digesting poison. So you go to a Whole Foods market, that's not really fruit. And for one, fruits can have seeds in it or don't have to have seeds in it. But if you're not growing your own fruit, it's not real. It's not authentic. It has to go through a store. It has to go through a machine. It has to go through a factory. It has to go through factory workers. It has to go through different increments of why it deserves to be in these Whole Food markets. And you have to be able to tell by the labels too, because these foods, you go to a Whole Foods market, they have stickers on them that has a certain... And what's crazy, download this app called Yuka. Yuka. Yuka is the best way to help you scan barcodes for what is healthy and unhealthy, because these barcodes, they have certain numbers on them. So if you go to a Whole Foods market and you pick up your fruit, and if you want to tell if it's real or fake, just look at the sticker on it and see the picture and see the numbers and the letters, because it'll be like, for example, 6A like 6 A, G, B, C, like whatever, like things like that on the fruit. But when you're trying to go a full day, you have to build your mind up. You have to prepare it. As you're going a day, trying to build up to a full day of fasting, it's going to be a struggle because your mind is not used to that pattern. It's like trying to swim for the first time. Don't expect to go to the deep end off the rip. Like, you haven't even been able to doggy paddle yet. You can't even swim as soon as you get into the water. Do you even know how to dive into the water? So it's like, don't jump off that cliff just yet. But if you're ready to jump off that cliff, then how will you catch yourself? Because it's going to be a challenge and you're going to want to eat. And this is just only day one. That's the craziest part, because your ego is not used to not eating. You've been eating since you was a baby. Your mother giving you different little, like, applesauce and different baby food that you can digest before you start working into solids. So now as you're going into solids, you got to think about solidity within your life. I don't think that's a goddamn word, but if it is, so be it. But you had to think about how solid will you be going into day two, because we're only on day one. Your mind has to be ready, because at this moment now, you're going to have to distract yourself. That's the best way into beating fasting, the demons of fasting. And that goes for anything as well, because once again, we're not even in day two yet. We're still in day one. So as you're preparing yourself, you have to wake up. On the wake up, as you open your eyes, you have to be awakened again, because even though your eyes are open, you're still asleep. So you have to be awakened to your unconscious ways. As you wake up, you have to tell yourself, I am not going to eat today. And you will see how you will feel. Imagine all the foods that you eat that you think are healthy, but they're not really healthy for you. Or think about all the foods you think are good, but they're not really good, but they're good from the past you, because the past you is used to eating bullshit foods. And so because you're used to eating these bullshit foods, that is your outlet. That is your access to filling up the void inside of you, because there is no meaning to somebody's life if you can't even go a day without fasting. That means that you have no motivation to discipline yourself, nor your fleshly desires. That means that your flesh is so weak that you are weak to your flesh. I'm going to say it again. You are so weak to your flesh that you are weakened by your flesh. You are a slave to your flesh. You are a slave to your ego. So this is where you have to figure out mind over matter, because your mind matters over your fleshly desires, because your flesh desires worldly things. But how does your spirit desire who you really are? How can you get your spirit to see the bigger picture beyond your ego? Because if people can't go a day, once again, without fasting, that means your ego is literally foreshadowing you. So your demons are literally telling you it's okay to eat every single day, which it is, because if you do not eat, you will die. Just like water. If you don't get enough water, you will die. But the thing is, you got to understand, if you are wanting to grow, or if you're wanting to awaken within the simulation, because welcome to the new year, family. Now it's a new year in March, because we're springing forward. So if you want to find out how well your life can enhance through fasting, then begin to start little by little, and don't beat yourself up for it. If you eat, okay, so what? Try again. That's exactly why you wake up. Try again. You want to be a better you, try again. And you remember too, you're going to be bored, because now you don't have to, if you're fasting if you want to be elite when it comes to consciousness, if you want to fast for real, fast without your phone, people, TV, games, what else? Reading, like, just be with yourself. Literally just be with yourself. Like, fast from everything. If you want to see a true fast, and especially without water either, water can definitely determine how strong your mind really is. But if you really want to fast and go a whole day, you will be bored. So get to work. This is a chance for you to get to work now, because as you're fasting, your mind can't concentrate on foods. Your mind can't digest anything anymore, can it? So how will you digest your intuition into the current moment right now? How will you build for the future? This is where you will determine to see who you are as a person. That's all fasting does. It helps you see who you are as a person. So who are you as a person? Because are you really a person? No, you are consciousness trying to be a person in a opinionated world created by closed-minded personas that don't exist. Now, day two, when it comes to day two, this is where you will start to get, your emotions will become stronger, your senses will be stronger, your hearing will be stronger, your touch, your taste, your sight, all your gifts will begin enhanced. Because at this moment, once again, your mind, so you probably took a shit already, because once you haven't digested anything after the previous day, and the thing is as well, you can practice Ramadan whenever you want. You don't have to be Muslim, you don't have to be Hebrew, you don't got to be religious to practice common sense. So when it comes to night and day, if you want to know your days, just go off the sun. So as you can see, it's like 3 in the afternoon right now, because you can tell the sun is not at its highest axis, or it's not at its highest angle. When it comes to life or algorithm, it's angles. So the sun is angled going this way. If you were just to look at the sun just like this, and you see left and right, you can see that the sun is going to go this way. So that means it's about to be 4 in the afternoon, meaning that at this moment now, you haven't ate. So boom, as the sun goes down, okay, so like for example, today, boom, the sun is awakened. You can count it as day 1. Sun is awakened, it goes down. Now the moon is going up, or the moon is already up, because there's 2 moons. Actually, there's more than 2 moons, but that's another story for another day. So the sun's going down, moon is going up. Now it's night. Boom, sun goes up again. That was already day 1. Day 2, night. So it's day and night, literally. So as the sun and the moon are rising and falling, you are going to be bored, because you don't have to, because now you're not eating anymore, and your mind needs to eat just to fill up a void. Once again, your mind has to do something to cure or stimulate itself, actually, and to cure its own boredom, because it's just sitting in your mind doing nothing at this moment. So if you have no hobbies for yourself, if you have no purpose for yourself, no mission, you are failing at this moment. At this current moment, you are failing yourself, your future self on top of that. Because at this moment now, because you're not playing video games, if you really want to be elite, you're not playing video games. You're not talking to people. You're not on the phone all day. You're not texting all day. You're not doing negative shit. What are you doing for yourself? If you're a content creator, create some content now, because your mind can really be focused on the content, to where your mind won't focus on digesting that food, because you're having food for thought. You're feeding yourself different programs and different algorithms on day 2, because day 1 is over with now, because you got through that hurdle. That was just a hurdle, because we ain't even on day 3 yet. But day 2 is the same exact thing. As soon as you wake up, do it again. Wake up and say your affirmations. Begin to meditate. Say your prayers. Give your time to God, because you're going through a miracle. And the wind blowing, that junk feels so good. Go get yourself some nature. Once we got bees flying around, it's beautiful out here. And authentic. As you're doing these things, when you wake up, make sure you exercise. Make sure you're meditating. And meditation can vary from any amount of time. So it can be 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour. Meditation is what you make it, because what is it? I'm meditating right now, my eyes wide open. So what are we really doing? Life is meditation. And as you're praying, pray to the God within you. If you're going to pray to something, don't pray to the outside source, because demonic entities are outside listening right to you. So why are you talking to them? Why are you praying? Why are you praying upon them? Once you're doing all that, journal, say your affirmations, begin to start your day, motivate your day, uplift yourself today and every day. And as we're saying, this is on day 2. This is how you feel on day 2. You're literally entering a heavenly realm within your mind. And at this moment, imagine if you live with your parents. Imagine if you live by yourself. You're building up yourself for days that you don't have to eat. You can, and it's crazy. If you can cook, that's a bonus. Because if you can cook and fast, you're also elite. Because if you know that you can make a meal whenever you want, you're choosing your own schedule at this moment. Like, you're becoming your own boss, because the boss is going to eat last to make sure that the employees eat. So no matter what, you're telling yourself, like, at this moment, I don't have to eat. I can eat whenever I want, because I can make my own meals. And it's not that big of a deal, because you do this every single day. Repetition. You're in a gym getting shots up, literally. So if you miss 1,000 shots, miss 1,000 more shots. But then guess what? When you made 1,001 shots, that's improvement. You made 1. Now let's make it 1,002, 1,003. Keep it up. Keep it up. That's the whole point of growing and flowing into your life. You're literally flowing, and you got to drink water, drink smoothies. You can manipulate fasting as well, because you're not digesting solids. Even though you have a solid that is digested in a liquid form, you're still fasting, because you're not literally eating a meal. You don't have a fork and a spoon. You're not programmed. And what's crazy, you got to think about it too. If you've seen the SpongeBob episode, when Plankton was eating holographic meatloaf, that lets you know right there that the food we eat is not even real. It's artificial. Our mind thinks that is real. And Plankton actually thought he was eating artificial meatloaf. Literally, it was see-through, it was transparent. It's the same thing with your food. It's not even real. It's not real. So if you have not grown food your whole life, neither your family or your grandparents, you have been eating holographic burgers, chicken tenders, french fries, fruit, lemons, oranges, fish, pork chop, bacon. It does not exist. Spiritually, that food does not exist. If you were to go into the cosmic realms or the ether realms or the highest star system, if you look at a plate in a higher dimension, there's nothing on it. But if you come down to Earth in the lower 3D dimensional plane of existence, you would think that it's a pork chop or it's bacon or it's a cheeseburger. That shit is not good for you for a reason. And then somebody would say, well, it's not good for us. Why do we eat it? Because you are livestock. You are livestock. We have to understand that. We are livestock, and we have to be careful because on day 2 now, the sun hasn't even gone down yet. So you have to get your day started. If you're working, that's even better. But the thing is, though, as you're working, what are you working towards and what are you working for? Because if you work for somebody, are you really working for somebody? Why are you not working on yourself? Because you have a job to do as well. Are you going to live your whole life working for somebody? Now, as you're fasting, you're realizing this stuff. Now, this is only day 2. It's only day 2. Some people can't even get past 12 hours of not eating. So this is just the beginning. Once again, somebody's like, how do you even know all this? You know all this, family. I'm living through it just like you. My ego is agitated going to day 4. I'm about to hit day 4. And my mind is angry. That's why you can feel the passion in this video, because I want to eat so fucking bad. You just don't understand. I can smell somebody barbecuing right now. I can smell that. I can smell the snacks being moved on the aisle in Walmart or Target or Publix or Kroger. I can see people putting up the stock shelves of macaroni and cheese. You know, I can see somebody getting the vegetables sauteed. I can see somebody cooking up hibachi. I can smell the spices put on the chicken. I can just smell the turkey being cooked. Like, it's just so many things that I can smell the fruit being consumed with water. But guess what? We gotta keep going and drinking our water. That's why with smoothies, they will help you. And that's the thing. Many people can't even get past, once again, 12 hours of just fasting. Not even 5 hours. Once you get past day 2, you're beginning to go into another realm now. You're walking to a different gateway. You're beginning to enhance your spiritual gifts, because at this moment, your mind knows that you're not eating. Your flesh is like, bro, I want to eat so bad. But now you're beginning to see that you're nurturing your own body. That's the whole key to it. You're nurturing your own body. Now, as we're going deeper into that, now we begin to go to day 3. Now, as you're going to day 3, right now, currently, I'm beginning to find out and cure my own boredom by making my hobby, turning it into a fun sport. Doing this for not only myself, but whoever's watching this video. Because this stuff can get sad. Imagine telling your folks, imagine you telling somebody like, I don't want to eat, and they get offended. It's like, why are you offended that I don't want to eat your food? And what's crazy, it's no offense to anybody, but it's not about you. That's what happens with people who are so concerned with what you do with your life. People say it's not good to fast for more than a certain amount of days. You're not wrong. But I don't want to hear your ego talk to me like that, because I know when to eat. Like, obviously niggas ain't going 2 months without just eat, like, no. But we got to realize that it's a gift to be able to even put food into our mouths and be able to consume it and actually comprehend its taste value. It's a gift to actually be able to eat food. People take that shit for granted every single day. So the fact that you can actually cook whenever you want and eat whenever you want, you can pay for whatever food you want, but you choose not to, that shows what kind of person you are. That's why on day 3, you're going to be able to see far beyond what your mind can comprehend. Like, I'm slowly observing this conversation with myself from me to you. Literally, being able to just see right through your eyes, letting you know that whoever's watching this, you know that you want to be great. You know that you don't have to eat, but you want to eat regardless. You want to be more hungry. Now you begin to see the dog within you. Imagine how many dogs haven't ate today. Imagine how many cats haven't ate today. Imagine how many kids, fathers, mothers haven't ate today. Imagine how many parents sacrifice their will of not eating for their kids' own good. And you telling me that you need to eat every single day. You don't have to, but you choose to, and that's okay. But just know fasting is a challenge. It's a want. You have to want to do this shit. And what's crazy, when you want to do it, the Spirit will want to gift you everything that you desire, physically and spiritually. You have to want to do these things. That's why it's hard for people to fast. Day 4 will be tomorrow, so we will see how this goes. But I just wanted to drop a little bit of these gems. I didn't want to speak too long about this, but it's a process of loving yourself. So remember, love yourself every single day. Keep working. You watching this, keep working, keep putting in work. Don't give up on yourself. Keep on going. Regardless of the naysayers, regardless of negative demonic forces, keep going and spreading your love and your message. I love you. Have a great, wonderful day.